And that I want to address, because that is the incorrect perception. And I didn't have anyone to correct me when I thought that same thing in the 90s, when I saw something for me and I expected it to be a big blow up move. And I had every intentions of being a part of it. I'm going to talk a little bit about how I first started trading and how I was trading, driving around in a truck doing vending round, because I got a lot of questions about that. So I'll talk a little bit about that today. The frustration of not being a participant on the move, that's normal. I want to remind you that you're going to miss a whole lot more moves if you plan on doing this the rest of your life. If you're trying to make this a career and not a field trip to the casino, because that's unfortunately what ends up happening with new traders, new students, new speculators. They come in and they're already afraid. They're afraid to lose money. They're afraid to get it wrong. They're afraid to do something that doesn't feel comfortable, when that's what trading is. So you have to warm up to the idea that you are embracing uncertainty. That's what you're doing. You are embracing uncertainty, and you're becoming a professional loser. You're managing every losing trade that begins, because you're underneath all the costs, any commissions, any spread. You are starting every single trade in a losing position. You have to trade your way out of it. But it's easy when you have nobody to tell you in the beginning that lose is part of it, and don't beat yourself up about it. You should take away from last week that the market did in fact move as we were expecting. The market did not present an opportunity for you to actually engage it. So did you really miss a trade? No, I didn't miss a trade. I missed a move. I missed the phenomenal move. But I've missed a lot of moves over the last 30 years. It doesn't bother me. In the beginning, it did. It hurt. It felt like I was never going to get the next one. I'm patient, just like you probably are feeling right now. Hear that? And once you have that in your schedule, those medium impact or high impact news events, that's what you're looking for. You're going through your economic calendar. What economic calendar do you use? You can use Econo Day, or you can use Forex Factory if you're going to be doing Forex. But there's a lot of events that I'm not really interested in. I'm not interested in every single little report that comes out. You know, a low impact news driver, I'm not interested in. Medium impact, yes. High impact, absolutely. So high probability setups, things that I'm looking for, are going to have those similarities. They're going to have things that are repeating. And guess what? Every single month, these reports are expected at specific times and specific dates, and you can plan for them, just like that concert, just like that event you're waiting for, that big game that you bought tickets to. Does your favorite team play in front of you every single day that they play live? No. You've missed those games. If they're not televised, what's that feel like? Growing up with my grandfather, he'd lose his mind if the Orioles were playing and the game wasn't televised. So what was he doing? Fear of missing out. He missed something. Did everything come to a halt because he missed that game? No. Does your career end, or does your development end and come to a halt because you missed Thursday and Friday's movement? No. So you have to come to grips with, wow, this is something that will repeat. And there's going to be times when the CPI number comes out and there isn't that big of a move. Basically, this was an enormous reaction to that news release. And here's the thing. If you ask me what it said or what it was dealing with, I'll tell you to save my own life. I don't care what these reports say. I never care what the data is. I don't care what it is. I just know that there's going to be volatility. Did I need to know what that report said before we were looking for lower prices in the ES? No. So why would I even confer with it? I don't. I just expect volatility. Injections of volatility are scheduled with that economic calendar. What I'm waiting for and what I'm teaching you to understand is there's likely to be a manipulation as that report comes out And if we have a bias, if we're looking for a specific directional bias, like lower prices, if that's in fact what we're looking for, the best opportunity is to watch it go up first. And I'm not saying it's going to go up 50 handles, 30 handles. I gave you a specific level, 40-30, because it was clean highs. It had consolidated for hours and hours overnight, both NASDAQ and the even S&P. So it was consolidating sideways, and to me, that's a wonderful opportunity. Every single time you put me in that same situation on Friday, I would have expected that same scenario. I would have never expected anything different. So am I upset? No. Because what I'm looking for is I want them to reprice higher, go after, because it was consolidating after a down day on Thursday. Typically, not all the time, as you can see, typically they'll take the market higher to take the buy stops out on those that were trailed lower. I'm surprised they didn't go back up higher for it. 40-30 would have done it. And then I would have expected it to start trading lower. But it wasn't having any of that. It was in a hurry. Now, some of you might have the idea that I have entertained. There's a lot of you following what I'm doing on Twitter. There's a lot of you, obviously, that don't necessarily follow what you're watching. And I know a lot of you are pushing a button that you should not be pushing. And you know what I'm talking about. So one of the things I said to my private in a recent commentary is that I am interested to see what effects I have by saying what I say and how the market reacts. Because here's what I want you to know. On Internet Chat Relay, there was a chat room that I hosted. I had 1,000 members in it. And I would talk about the S&P real time. And I would call what I thought the market was going to move to. I would never really share my stop, but say where I thought it was going to go to. And as soon as I did that, there would be a flurry movement towards that level. Now, I like to think that these markets are going to move, obviously, on their own basis, not by what